So the Woodworkers Fighting Cancer build this year is actually pretty sweet. If you're not familiar with Woodworkers Fighting Cancer, I'll leave a link down in the description to that if you want to check that out and participate. So the build is to make a simple frame or any frame you want and then have a casting in the middle so you're able to cast different objects or things into the frame. So it's kind of a cool little thing, I guess. But I thought it was a really great idea of something that my wife and I could do to kind of scrapbook in a sense. So if we have little things from throughout the year, we can cast those in resin in the frame and have that for like what happened for the whole year. And the fall is when our anniversary is. Actually, tomorrow is our anniversary. Of course, I'm doing this the night before. We just got back from dinner. That's why I'm dressed like this. She's already in bed. I'm going to try and make a frame. So I thought this could be something really cool that we could cast something together tomorrow on our anniversary of some of the things we have that kind of symbolize the last year that we spent together. So yeah, and maybe it's something we could do every year, just kind of keep things throughout the year for the frame, and then every year on anniversary, cast those things into a new frame and have a whole thing of frames that kind of remind us of all the years together. So I have this piece of butternut. I cut this on the sawmill earlier this year. I think it's going to look I think it's going to make a pretty cool, like rusticy kind of frame. So I have no idea what this is even going to look like, but I think pretty simple and whatever. So let's see if I can quickly make a frame out of this before bed.
Where are you walking to?
Hi!
Eat a cookie.
Eat the cookie.
Nom, nom, nom. Feed it to mommy now.
Eat the cookie. Hey, he's doing it.
So I finally got some time. It's like been a week, I think, since I made this frame. And JR's sleeping. And it's 2 weeks already? No, it's been a week. It's been a week. So we're gonna try and do this with a baby. This should be interesting. Why don't you tell us what you picked, and then I'll show you the few things that I'm going to be putting in to the box frame thingy.
First thing is this Christmas tree ornament. This is actually what was on the Christmas tree that we picked out. We went to this tree farm, and the funny thing about this tree farm is every tree has a name. So ours was Michael Chang, and we just really got into it, so we called our tree Michael Chang, and it was one of my favorite things about the holidays last year. And so we kept this, and we were originally going to put it on each Christmas tree moving forward, but I was afraid that we may lose them, so I thought it might be fun to incorporate them into these every year. I'm saying this is our Christmas tree from each one. So Michael Chang was our first Christmas tree together as a family of 4. This is a little donut thingy, whatever. For JR's birthday this year, I got him a kit. It's called the Baby Boy Bakery, and every month they send a new kit that's toddler-focused recipes that you can make with your toddler. It's just a fun little bonding experience and helping your toddler learn skills, such cooking skills as well as just being self-sufficient. And so this is from one of those, and we made one of the first ones that we did was we made the donuts together as a family, and it was just a really fun day. So I wanted to keep that to remember that day. And then, of course, to continue with the donut theme, donuts. Matt and I love donuts. I think my belly shows that. Matt's super thin, so. This is the thank you card actually from JR's birthday party. But I just thought this was really cute, and so I thought it was a nice color to add to the frame. And I also love writing thank you cards when I get a chance to. It's harder these days, but this is one of my thank you cards. This is the reminder card from the birth center. And so this just is the memory of Max being born. And this year we found out this year as in what this is supposed to symbolize, the year 2016/17, I suppose. And so that's the year we found out that we were pregnant with Max, and this is this is the reminder card, and I just really like the saying. There's a secret in our culture, and it's not that birth is painful, but that women are strong. I feel like I really resonate with that. And then this Matt actually picked out, so don't let him fool you and think I did. It's dumb sucker. That's what we're using right now to potty train JR to go double potty in the potty, which also I feel like symbolizes the fact that I've had to say the word poo more times than I would like because I hate that word. It is a dirty word, literally and figuratively. I just find it quite distasteful. And I now have it as a regular word in my vocabulary, as much as that pains me. It's accurate. So. Hi! What are you doing? Are you working?
So I have a couple things to add.
Okay.
So the first thing I have here, it's been,
I have really no idea what this is.
been in the shop for a while. This is the umbilical cord clip from when Max was born.
That is!
So that can go in there somewhere.
Oh, I remember this. Matt cut it off.
I did.
He was very happy with that. Okay, well, I want to see the other items before I place it.
There's only one more.
You said there were 3.
Yeah, I got the dum-dum in there.
No, that didn't count, and you know it.
It did count.
This is stupid. All right, what else you got?
I have this letter from the bank saying we paid off your student loans.
Oh, that is a good one. That is one of the best things ever. Is I no longer have any student loans I didn't have any from undergrad, actually. Law school's not cheap. So paying off these student loans was probably the best thing. I don't know how we're going to do this.
I thought you could just cut out paid in full or something, or part of the letter.
Yeah, paid in full right here. Nothing like having that weight lifted off your shoulders. And as Matt used to joke, I was paying to work essentially, and now I feel like I actually get a salary.
Okay, so while you're doing that and figuring out the placement, I'm going to get the resin ready. Got this from Dima a long time ago because he didn't need it. It's supposed to be clear, so hopefully it actually is. I don't know how much we're going to need either. So I think it's going to be 2 pours. We'll do a base pour to get everything stuck down, and then I'll come back later and do a fill pour. So you can see there's a lot of bubbles in there, and one of the things I got to make this process a little bit easier is a little vacuum chamber. So the resin will go into the vacuum chamber, and then the vacuum will pull all the air bubbles out of the resin, so at least there's no air in the resin when you pour it. And then when you pour it, it's got to be somewhat careful about how much air you put into the resin as part of the pouring process. But all that mixing puts a lot of air into the resin. So, hopefully this works. Never done this before. I think I probably should have taken my popsicle stick out of this. A lot of air in this stuff. I don't know, I've never done it before.
5 minutes.
I don't know. I made that up.
The French is ready. Good job, JR. You gonna help?
Still bubbling a little bit, but it looks a lot better. All right, there's the resin.
You got your other one on? It doesn't look bad.
Just flakes, paint flakes. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not one bubble there we can get later, but it's looking pretty good.
Wait, this is going to go underneath.
Yeah, so put down first.
Right, but this was underneath on top.
How about this?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. No, it's not gonna look good.
We can do this still. It's fine. Look.
It didn't look like that though.
So we had dinner and it's been a couple hours. This isn't totally set up that much, but it is like not running anymore. So I'm gonna do another pour, and I'm pretty sure this is not gonna be enough to like fully submerge like the Dum Dum. So I might need some more or do something different there or whatever, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix up all of this right now and then just see how much depth we get out of that. So I did add some more resin to this to get the depth a little thicker, to get the Dum Dum fully submerged in the resin. And since I was out of that other stuff, I used a bit of the bar top epoxy that I had just to kind of get rid of it. This is probably not the best thing to use for this, and I wouldn't really recommend using this for a casting project like this. So first off, this stuff, there's a lot of bubbles in it after you mix it, and it does not degas in the vacuum chamber. It just foams and the bubbles never pop. So you're kind of left with pouring it on the surface and then hoping the bubbles rise to the surface, so then you can pop them with some kind of heat source. And even then, there's still a lot of bubbles trapped in the resin that just didn't rise to the surface. And the other negative thing about the bar top epoxy is that even though it says that it's clear, it's pretty far from that. It has a pretty heavy yellow cast. I'm not too worried about it for this because it's just like a memory frame, so even though it's a little more yellow than it probably should be, it still, serves the purpose of reminding us of the things that happened this year. So Lindsay is out on a business trip this week, otherwise she'd be here taking a look at this with me together, but you'll probably see this video before she gets back in town and gets to see this thing in person. So again, take a look at the Woodworkers Fighting Cancer website if you want to participate in this year's fundraising. The charity this year is the Jimmy Fund. So, pretty happy with this. This is kind of fun. Quick project and kind of got the whole family involved. So I hope you do something similar and all that good stuff. Let me know if you have any questions. And until next time, happy woodworking.